Hello, and welcome to the Math 0361 Test 2 review. Hopefully everybody did well on Test 1, and let's see if we can keep that up on Test 2. For question number 1, we would like to find the area of the figure below. It's a rectangle. For a rectangle, the area is length times width. So we just got to multiply these two numbers. 10 over 13 times 1 over 5. Notice this 10 and this 5 may cancel off to 1 and 2. And when you multiply, you get 2 times 1, which is 2, and 13 times 1, which is 13. So your answer is 2 out of 13. Question 2, we would like to find the perimeter. And we know that the perimeter is 27 centimeters, but we would like to find out each of these sides. To get perimeter, we would add up all the sides. So we would do x plus x plus x plus 3x plus 3x equals 27. Let's see, 1x plus 1x is 2x, plus 1 is 3x, 3x plus 3x is 6x, 6x plus 3x is 9x. This gives us 9x equals 27. And if we divide by 9 to get x alone, I see that x equals 3. So what this means is these sides right here where it just has x, they each have a side of 3. And these sides over here, where it says 3x, would be 3 times 3, which is 9. For number 3, we would like to substitute the given values and solve for the unknown. I see they told us that a is 75, little b is 12, and big B is 13. But notice they did not mention h, so we are going to find h. And let's start by plugging in everything we know. I know a is 75, half is half, big B is 13, and little b is 12, and h, we don't know that yet. So let's do the parentheses first. 13 plus 12, I know is 25. Next, 25 can multiply to this 1. That's part of 1/2. And that would give you 25 over 2. And everything else comes down. So right now we have 75 equals 25 over 2 times h. We have a fraction, and I notice most students hate fractions, so let's get rid of the fraction. And we can accomplish this by multiplying both sides by 2. Why 2? Because 2 is on the bottom. 2 times 75 is 150. And on the right side, this 2 and this 2 cross off, leaving 25h. Finally, the last step is to divide both sides by 25. This will give us h alone. And in the end, 150 divided by 25 is 6. For number 4, we have p equals to a plus b plus c. I know that p is 34. I know that a is equal to 6. And I know b is equal to 12. So what we have to do is find c. Well, 6 and 12, I know that adds up to 18. And then to get c alone, let's subtract both sides by 18. And our answer is 16 equals C. For number 5, I see that we have C equals to 2 pi r. They gave us C, they gave us pi, so what we must do is find r. So that I know that C is equal to 69.08 equals to 2. Pi is 3.14, and r we don't know yet. First, let's have 2 multiplied to 3.14, which I know is 6.28. And then the last step to get r alone is divide both sides by 6.28. And when we do, we get 11. For number 6, we have a graph, and we would like to find the coordinates of point A and point C. Let's do point A first. I see point A is right here. So starting at this point, if I draw a line going straight down, I'm pointing at 1. Specifically, I'm pointing at x equals 1. And when I draw an arrow going across, I'm pointing at 2. Specifically, y equals 2. So for point A, the coordinates are 1, 2. For point C, which is right over here, I see that it's on the x-line at -5. So -5 is part of my answer. But notice that because it's on the x-line, that means y equals to 0. So the coordinates for part C is -5, 0. Number 7, we would like to determine whether each ordered pair is a solution. The way to figure this out is replace x with what we're given, and if we get back 9, it works. If we get back anything else, it doesn't work. Let's try 6 and -1. This becomes 2 times 6 plus 3 times -1 equals 9. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times -1 is -3. And yes, 12 minus 3 is 9. So, yes, this is a solution. Let's try 7 and 0. So we get 2 times 7 plus 3 times 0. 2 times 7 is 14. 3 times 0 is 0. 14 plus 0 adds up to 14. But is 14 equal to 9? No, of course not. So no, 7, 0 is not a solution. For number 8, we would like to complete the table. They gave us some values, and we want to find its partner, if you will. First, I see x equals 0. Well, when x equals 0, that means y equals to -0 plus 6. -0 is still just 0. And 0 plus 6 equals 6. Now let's try with y equals 0, which becomes 0 equals to -x plus 6. And let's work on getting x alone. We'll subtract 6. So -6 equals -x. And then divide by -1. This is a little trick to change signs. And when you do, you get x equals to +6. Okay, let's do this again when x is -1. So we get y equals to -1 plus 6. Well, here, two negatives make it positive. So it's really 1 plus 6, which is 7. And those are our solutions. Number 9, we're going to do the same thing. When x equals 0, we get 0 plus 3y equals 9. Well, 0 plus 3y is still 3y. And then from here, we'll just divide by 3. And this gives us y equals 3. There's our first answer. Let's do the same thing when y is equal to 0. So we'll have x plus 3 times 0 equals 9. Well, 3 times 0 is still 0. And x plus 0 is just x. So we're left with x equals 9. And now, let's replace y with 4. So we get, well, let me set that up. So we get x plus 3 times 4 equals 9. Well, 3 times 4 is 12. And if I subtract 12, I'm left with x equals minus 3. And we have our solutions. Alright, number 10 is more of the same, but what we're going to do is we're going to graph. So, first I see y equals 1. Well, when y equals 1, that means we get x equals to negative 2 times 1, which is negative 2. Okay, well next I see y is equal to 0. And when that happens, when y is equal to 0, we get x equals to negative 2 times 0, which is still 0. And now I see that x is equal to 4. So when x equals 4, this becomes 4 equals to negative 2y, divide by negative 2, and y is equal to negative 2. Okay, well let's graph. The first point is at negative 2, 1. So starting from the center, let's go 2 spots to the left, 1, 2, and then up 1. There's our first point right there. 0, 0 is just dead center. Let's put a dot there. And 4, negative 2, that's 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 down. 1, 2. Once we have our dots, connect them. That's our answer. Let's take the same approach to number 11. First I see x is equal to 0. So we get y equals to negative 3 times 0 plus 4. Well, negative 3 times 0 is 0, and 0 plus 4 is 4. So our first answer is 0, 4. Let's try x equals 1. So y equals to negative 3 times 1 plus 4. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, plus 4 is positive 1. So we have 1, 1. And now let's try x equals 2. So this would give us y equals to negative 3 times 2 plus 4. Well, negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. Right now we have 3 good points, so let's plot our graph. 0, 4 is just 4 spots straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1 is 1 spot to the right, then 1 spot up. And 2, negative 2 is 2 spots to the right, then 2 spots down. Once we have our points plotted, let's connect the dots. And there's our answer. Alright, well, we like to graph, but this time they didn't give us numbers to plug in. So we're going to plug in our own numbers. And for our numbers I like to use are x equals 0 and x equals 1. Let's plug in and see what we get for y. So when x equals 0, y is equal to 3 times 0 plus 6. And 0 plus 6 is just 6. And with 1, we get 3 times 1 plus 6. Well, 3 times 1 is 3, then 3 plus 6 is 9. So we're now ready to plot. 0, 6 is just 6 spots straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 9 is 1 spot to the right, then 9 up. 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now connect the dots. Alright, number 13. We have x minus y equals 2. But when graphing, when x and y are on the same side, what I like to do is I like to let x equal 0 get an answer, then let y equal 0 get an answer. Here's what I mean. When x equals 0, we're left with negative y equals 2. And if I divide by negative 1 to change the sign, this gives y equals minus 2. Alright? Then likewise, if I let y equal to 0, I'm left with x minus 0 equals 2, or x equals 2. We're ready to graph. 0, negative 2 is just 2 spots down, so 1, 2, right there. 2, 0 is 2 spots to the right. 1, 2. And then connect the dots. And that's our answer. 14, y equals to negative 4. If all you have is y equals to any number, your answer is a horizontal line. So let's go over to where y is negative 4, which is here, and put a big dot right there. Then put a horizontal line going through that dot. And that's it. Alright, 15. I would like to graph, so I'm going to come up with 2 points for x. The first point to use is 0, because 0 is always a good one. Because negative 3 over 2 times 0 plus 3, well, anything times 0 is 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. So our first point is 0, 3. For my second point, I'm going to use whatever's in the bottom of the fraction. I'm going to use 2. You could use any number, but I want to use 2 because the 2 that we replace with x will cross off the 2 on the bottom. That way we don't have to deal with fractions anymore. So 2 on top and 2 on the bottom cross off. And this gives us negative 3 plus 3, which is 0. Let's plot. 0, 3 is just 3 spots up. 1, 2, 3. 2, 0 is 2 spots to the right. 1, 2, right there. And then connect the dots. And there's our line. For 16, we'd like to identify the intercepts, x and y intercepts. The x-intercepts is the point that crosses the x-axis. So right here, this is your x-intercept. And that is the point -2, 0. Similarly, the y-intercept will be whatever crosses the y-line, the line that goes up and down. And this occurs right here. And your point there is 0, 2. Number 17. We like to graph by finding and plotting its intercepts. All that means is replace x with 0, get an answer. Replace y with 0, get another answer. So I'm going to replace x with 0 and y with 0. First, x with 0. When x equals 0, we get 0 minus y equals -7. Negative y equals -7. And if I divide -1, we're left with y equals 7. So 0, 7 is our first point. Let's do y equals 0. So x minus 0 equals -7, or x equals -7. And we're ready to graph. The first point of 0, 7 is just 7 spots straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Very good. And x equals -7, 0 is 7 spots to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we will connect the dots. And we're done. Number 18, we have x equals -5. If x is equal to any number, that means our answer is a vertical line. So let's find out where x is -5, which is actually right here. And this time put a vertical line going through that point. And that's it. Graph the linear equation. Notice x and y are on the same side of the equal sign. So let's graph by first letting x equal 0 and then letting y equal 0. Well, when x equals 0, we're left with 0 plus 4y equals -8. And then dividing by 4 gives us y equals -2. And likewise, when y is equal to 0, we get x plus 4 times 0 equals -8. 4 times 0 is 0, so that just becomes x equals -8. And let's graph. Y equals -2 is just 2 spots down. 1, 2. And -8, 0 is just 8 spots to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then connect the dots. And that finally brings us to number 20. Ironically, 20 has nothing to do with anything we've done all day. But to simplify, let's work the top, then the bottom. Up top, -2 minus 1 is -3. And on the bottom, 2 minus 8 is -6. Now notice you can divide both of those numbers by 3. And this will give you 1/2, or 1/2. And this concludes test number 2. Hopefully this will be helpful when you take test number 2 later on in the next few days. As always, if you have any further questions, stop by the Math Resource Center in ESEE 1112. Otherwise, good luck and have a great day.